What up, though? What up, though? Give me a second. Give me a second. Just pulling up my screen. I know we live. What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P, back once again. You know, the Motor City Cats are back at it. We came to give you stats and not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we've got day two kicking off. Roger Goodell is at the podium and he is talking to all the people in Green Bay, telling them about the people that will be announcing the picks. It's going to be 32 NFL players, one representing each team. Roger Goodell will not be announcing the picks, so hopefully we can move through this thing a lot faster. What up, though, Tactical Sport? What's going on with the turnout today, man? I don't love your boy. What's happening? Where the people at, man? Um, let's see. Got some people in the Discord. Um, yeah, so we got some stuff going on. David Lyons was showing pics. Um, all right. Said the pick grew on me, but wow, hell no state. People are mad about the drive. I'm gonna rock with y'all too, man. If y'all two gonna rock with me, uh, it's all good. I've done last year's draft. I did with one person, and he was with me every day. Um, so look, man, I understand the pick, but the pick to me is just because of who else was on the board. You know what I mean? And y'all were here with me yesterday, so you know who else was on the board. That was the thing that it was just like, man. But Brad Holmes did say that he had some ideas and maybe about moving up or maybe he was going to stay put or whatever. I know Josiah Stewart is supposed to be incoming. Um, so is Josiah Stewart enough? I mean, we're gonna be happy with Josiah Stewart because Josiah Stewart is gonna come in and rush the passer. Hopefully they don't. They're not gonna be trying to use him too much as a Sam backer and just bringing him in as a situational pass rusher. That's cool, but what is the formula, right? Kurt Steele was on after the Lions pick, and he was like, "I don't know why you're mad because they like the big ends, they like the big, edges." And I get that, I understand that, but when with Tyleek, we're sitting up here talking about stopping the run, right? Oh man, he's great at stopping the run. Well, we've been great at stopping the run for the last 3 years. We've been in the top 5. That's awesome. Do we need to stop the run up the middle with Lamar Jackson coming into town? No. Do we need to stop the run up the middle with Jalen Hurts coming into town? Yes and no. Okay. Do we need to stop the run up the middle with Patrick Mahomes coming in? Do we need to stop the run up the middle with Jordan Love? Do we need to stop the run up the middle with Caleb Williams? So this is the thing. Do we need to stop the run more so than we need to stop the pass? The pick is in. The Cleveland Browns will be selecting. They will not be trading out of this one. We'll see who they get in a second. We're not gonna have all that foolery going on like we had yesterday. Tactical Sport says, "I'm not a fan of the pick, and it's because it was a reach." Yes, it was a reach, and Brad Holmes said that what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna reach for players, and he did do that. Honestly, I would have rather traded back than to reach like that. Yeah. He did say that they got. So this is the problem. So if you listen to his press conference, he said that they basically Tyleek was their top target that was available at the time. So that means that they had him over Mike Green, they had him over Jihad Campbell, they had him over Donovan Ezraku, they had him over everybody that was there, and they were received a pick. I think basically Philadelphia wanted to trade up with them because he said, would it be would someone asked him if he would still be picking today, which was yesterday, and he said yes. Hold on, let me get this pick. Carson Schlesinger is the pick. I'm not doing the shorts today. This is day 2. We're not going to do all that. There's going to be a lot of picks today. I'm not about to do 60 shorts. So, no. So Carson Schlesinger, let me share this mock draft with y'all because this is a day 2 mock draft done by the Score. So back to my point was that, this guy, this Tyleek was their pick. He was going to be their pick. That's the guy that they wanted for whatever reason. And yes, he's going to replace Aleem McNeil possibly. And then he's going to go in and maybe next year he'll replace DJ Reader, as no one believes that they're going to bring him back. And then so you'll have 2 Aleem McNeil. Somebody said something about Sue and Fairley. You can't compare them to Sue and Fairley, but Sue and Fairley were very different players. You know what I mean? Yeah, they were very disruptive in the middle, but you always knew what Sue was going to give you, and then also Sue was going to give you some craziness, and he was going to get suspended, and things of that nature. However, that is just not the same comparison. So what was that dude's name? JT Tuilalamasa of Ohio State. He was he got 15 sacks. So basically, Tyleek freed him up. He was eating up double teams and he went off. So you're thinking, okay, Hutch is going to do that. Um, if you are a defensive or offensive coordinator and you've got this rookie alongside Hutch, who are you sending the double teams at? Who are you sending the triple teams at? Who are you sending the help to? Are you sending it to Hutch or are you sending it to this rookie who we don't know about until we know about him? Right? That's the question that I have to ask. The pick is in for the Houston Texans. Shout out Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell came out yesterday and was talking about maybe a 7-minute pick clock for the first round. He said we got to shorten it. And yeah, if y'all were here yesterday, y'all know that was the thing I was complaining about. Armenian man, you had a problem with it too. It was just taking too much damn time. I understand the draft has become a spectacle, but we're literally there to see what picks. If you sat there and in 2 hours did every single pick from 1 to 257, we wouldn't have a problem with it. We would not have a problem with it. Bro, the Texans, hold on. The Texans traded out of the first round. And then when they made their first pick, they drafted Jaden Higgins, wide receiver out of Iowa State. I understand that they lost Tank Dell, but they also lost Laramie Tunsil and some other linemen. They had up there on the ticker that CJ Stroud was the second most sacked quarterback in the league last year. He had 52 sacks. All right. Seattle has traded their pick, or Seattle has traded up with, who did they trade up with? Yeah. Anyway, did they trade up with the Titans or something? Is that who they traded up with? Anyway, they're going to be making their pick soon. Someone got that in here. Let's see, Armenian man. All right, so Tactical Spork says, so you telling me that this whole draft fell apart and he reached not good? Yeah. That's what it seems like, right? Because someone was trying to trade up and you had the opportunity to do that and you wanted Tyleek so bad that you just said, hey, he said it was getting tight in there. They'd still be trying to make Kelly Stafford a thing. They need to stop it. Yeah, they said that little paranoia set in and got a little bit tight, and they picked who they wanted. So I think he wanted Grant mainly with the Green Bay pick. It took 20 minutes, and you could pick Luther Burden. Yes. Oh wow, yeah, I forgot Luther Burden he's still on the board, and everybody was thinking Luther Burden was going in the first round and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know who the Texans are going to be using to protect CJ Stroud at all. So sometimes, it could be worse, guys. We could be the Houston Texans. We could, and everyone's in the draft room clapping and happy, and then you get a wide receiver. You know who wasn't clapping and happy? CJ Stroud. I'm pretty sure he wasn't. All right, let's see. The pick is in for the Seattle Seahawks, so let's see who they are going to be getting. they're clapping in the draft room, but that doesn't mean anything. We've seen a bunch of clapping in draft rooms and people being happy, and then people picking people that didn't make any sense. Yeah, so they did trade up with the. Uh, so it only took a second and a third. Okay, so look, that was the third pick in the second round, and it only took a second. It was just the pick swap and an extra and a third rounder. So if Brad Holmes wants to trade up, that was trading up 15 spots. If Brad Holmes wants to trade up to get someone, let's say 15 spots to what would be pick 45, so the next 10 picks. If he wants to trade up, all he has to give up, and maybe that pick in that area is not even it's not even worth as much. So he might just have to swap the second and maybe give up a fourth. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Who would they get? All right, the pick is in. All right, let me go through this. I did say I was gonna go through this mock draft with y'all. So, Armenian man, I know you're gonna love this mock draft. All right. So the day 2 mock draft is the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, which already is wrong. The Houston Texans select Luther Burden, which they did go wide receiver, but they selected Jaden Higgins. Kyle Williams is the pick for the Tennessee Titans, who will not be picking there because they traded up. Then next they have Mike Green going to the Cleveland Browns. So that would be crazy. Mike Green on the other side of whatchamacallit. Mike Green on the other side of Myles Garrett. All right, Richard Sherman is here to. It's crazy. Richard Sherman is still a Seahawks legend. And he went to the San Francisco 49ers. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, Nick Emanwari, safety. He has gone to the Seattle Seahawks. So Mike Green is still on the board. Donovan Ezraku is still on the board. All right, Will Johnson is still on the board. So that brings me to pick number 37. Will Johnson goes to the Raiders. Pick number 38, Jaden Higgins goes to the Patriots, which is not going to happen because Jaden Higgins already went to the Texans. Trayvon Henderson is picked by the Bears at 39. Tyler Show goes to the New Orleans Saints at pick number 40 per this mock draft. What up, though, Mary Smith? Let's see. But Shedeur Sanders is now still on the board. So we don't know. If Tyler Show, whoever that is, gets picked before Shedeur Sanders, wow. Just wow. JT Tuimalala goes to the Bears at 41. Mason Taylor, tight end, goes to the Jets at 42. Omar Norman Lott goes to the San Francisco 49ers at 43. Quinshon Judkins goes to the what's his name? The Dallas Cowboys at 44. At 45, Carson Schwessinger goes to the Colts, which not going to happen because he went to the The Browns. All right, let's see if the Browns. What up, though, Mr. Morale? 313. Will Johnson's injury is calling him to slide. Let's see if Shedeur Sanders gets picked by the Cleveland Browns. I honestly hope he does not. Wow. Wow. Quinshon Judkins, which again I contest is not a real person's name. Quinshon Judkins is not the name of a real human being. So do with that what you will. Some people will call him real. I'm not calling him real. That's Quinshon Judkins isn't a real name. Sorry. I'm denying his application for real nametry. All right. Yeah, I don't know what, but the Browns are gonna brown. So at this point, I think they're just trolling Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're tanking this year. You know, you got whatchamacallit over there, old rub and tug, Deshaun Watson. So, bro, speaking of old rub and tug, Shannon Sharpe, the unmitigated gall that Shannon Sharpe had to dress down Chad Ochocinco in front of everybody because he was a couple minutes late. And this man allegedly is a serial choker and rapist. Boy. That's yeah. All right. So Trey Amos goes to the Rams, pick 46. Donovan Ezuraku goes to the Arizona Cardinals at 47. Siobhan Ravel goes to the Miami Dolphins at 48. Darius Alexander goes to the Bengals at 49. Nick Emanwari goes to the Seahawks at 50. They were right about Nick Emanwari going to the Seahawks, but it didn't happen at pick 50 as they picked him at pick 35. They traded up. Landon Jackson, pick number 51, goes to the Broncos. Benjamin Morrison goes to the Seahawks at 52. Nick Scorton goes to the Buccaneers at 53. TJ Sanders goes to the Packers at 54. Oh, there's a trade again. Miami Dolphin trades up. I think they're going to be picking Will Johnson because you're talking about trading Jalen Ramsey. So, all right. Trey Harris, 55 to the Chargers. Braden Swinson, 56 to the Bills. 57, Josiah Stewart to the Carolina Panthers. Shamar Turner, 58 to the Texans. Princely goes 59 to the Ravens. Do y'all want to take a guess who this mock draft has the Detroit Lions taking in the second round at pick number 60? I think Brad Holmes trades up because, I mean, the trades are already happening. So you're going to have to go up and get somebody. See? A second round and a fifth round. So then the Raiders receive a second, a third, and a fourth. So how did they get more to trade up? That's crazy. Oh, who's Casper the Ghost, Armenian man? Who you guys Casper the Ghost? Didn't Sharp step down yesterday? Oh, he stepped down yesterday, and then today, or I guess it was, yeah, I guess today, some stuff popped out. Some more stuff. A lawsuit that happened in 2023. Jonah Savaina. Jonah Savanimini. That's his name. So he is the pick. So he played in Arizona with Territory. Territory. That's what they need to call him. Just call him Territory. It's your boy Territory. Oh, well, there you go. They got a guard. So Miami definitely needed that. They needed somebody to protect Tua. All right, are y'all ready? This mock draft has the Detroit Lions. I don't even want to say this. I don't even want to say this. This mock draft has the Detroit Lions taking Jack Sawyer. You heard it. Don't make me say it again. I said it. I said it, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If they pick two of them dudes, yeah, I'm not gonna know what to do. I need Brad Holmes to trade up. You know what I'm saying? I need him to trade up and get somebody, or I need somebody to take that man off the table. Savanave. Okay, Savanave. Savanave. Pork chop would be happy. Is I'm guessing pork chop is the person we don't like around here. Um, yeah. Yeah. So if that's the pick, I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have no idea. Watch us get JTM. Well, somebody asked Derek earlier. They were like, "Do you think Oh Hell No State is the new Bama since Bama isn't good anymore?" And I was like, "I hope not, bro." Um, imagine Jalen Milroe getting picked over Shador Sanders. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at this point. All right, so the Patriots are taking their time. Um, let's see who they get. The Patriots are definitely going to be back this year. I think they've had an excellent offseason. They've pretty much revamped their entire defense. Um, Yesterday, they got Will Campbell to protect Drake May. So, I mean, Luther Burden is still on the board. So is Will Johnson. I don't think Mike Green would be the pick because, like I said, you spend all that money on the defensive line. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think Luther Burden would be the pick, because you don't have a lot of wide receiving help in New England. So you go get your quarterback a weapon. Let's see. I think it's going to be Luther Burden. It just makes too much sense, and he's there, bro. When I was trying to do my mock draft thing, like I had to stop it from picking Luther Burden first overall. I'm like, why the hell are you continue picking Luther Burden first overall? All right, the pick is in. They got the peeps coming out. Um, all right, so this is the Special Olympics plus play 60. They are here to announce the pick. Watch Mike Green be a Bear. That would suck. But they got two picks. They got a pick, then New Orleans, then a pick. So wow, Travion Henderson. That is a shock. That's a shock. I'm shocked. I'm I know I know what you call it lost. What's his name? What's that dude's name? Stevenson. What's his name? I know Stevenson lost his starting job, but hey, he's a weapon, bro. So shout out, and also Mike Vrabel, former Oh Hell No State Sockeye. So yeah, I get it. Ramondre, there we go. Ramondre Stevenson. Uh, so no running back for the Bears. Well, I mean they could still pick one. they did reach for somebody yesterday. Oh, who did? Colston Loveland. Um, at this point, what's the over under on Will Howard getting selected before Shedeur Sanders? On this point, what's the over under on um, Quinn Ewers getting selected before Shedeur Sanders? Bro, Quinn Ewers coming out of college this year because he saw an opportunity is crazy. It is crazy. Did you see an opportunity to get drafted and you might not even get drafted in the until maybe the fourth round? Because who needs a quarterback that's just waiting this late into the draft? You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be picked as a developmental player. Bears get Burden and Mike Green, I will cry. Um, well, we'll see. We'll see what they do in a minute and 40 seconds, unless they make the pick quickly. So when you say bear down and you're doing a thumbs down, that's kind of crazy. You're very confused as what thumbs down means. You know what I'm saying? And the Packers are doing the same thing, right? So they're thumbs downing the Bears, but you are a Bears fan and you're going bear down, right? Is it too late for yours to go back to college? I'm not sure. Um, is it still about hiring an agent? The Bears do go down. Pause. I'm just saying. Shannon Sharp knows a thing or two about that. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My obviously the big issue that we have to have with Shannon Sharp is if any of these allegations are true. Uh you know when all this stuff started, because they're talking about him with bragging about his escapades with OnlyFans models, Sky Bree, and all these other people, right? All this stuff started after the Cat Williams interview when they were calling him Zesty. And then he just went into overdrive talking about who he was knocking down and all this other stuff. So I think that was his issue. I think that this draft makes me think they're trying to get what Detroit has already. You can't duplicate what came from the dirt. All right. All right. All right, Amik. Yes, allegedly. Tactical work, allegedly. All right, the pick is in. Who even is this guy? I don't even know who this is. Des White. Okay, they got Luther Burden. All right. So they got their Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay. This dude said the 2025 NFC North champions. So there his player comp is DJ Moore. Okay. He said, "Don't you dare get Mike Green." At this point, bro, like Brad Holmes make a move. Brad Holmes, what you doing? Trade up. Come on now, bro. If the Bears get Mike Green to pair with Montez Sweat, um, let's see. Now I'm very interested to see what happens. Okay. I forgot they didn't bring back Keenan Allen. So um yeah, wide receiver made a lot of sense there. Now they have two very young wide receivers to grow with Caleb Williams. We know how Ben Johnson is going to deploy them. So if Shedeur Sanders does not get selected here, you know where he could go? He could go to the Raiders because he has a relationship with Tom Brady. Now, like I said, if Shedeur Sanders does not get drafted here, like look at that list. If you're watching, Quinn Ewers is number 7 on that list of quarterbacks. If you're watching NFL Network, wow, that is a list of quarterbacks who I would say Jalen Milroe is probably the last one that's going to get drafted. I think everyone else is gonna fall. I'd love for the Detroit Lions to take a flyer on Jalen Milroe, not in this round, obviously, like in the 5th, because this quarterback class does not look enticing. I don't think anybody wants them. They're so happy about whatever's going on. Everyone is like running around hugging. So let's see. I mean, this got to be Shedeur's, right? It's got to be Shedeur. Yeah, no one cares. How are you a female Packers fan? I don't understand that one. Are they playing with that young man, Shedeur Sanders? Yeah. 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 All right. But I think the quarterback class last year was much better than this one. This one is wow. Wow. Ah. What the fudge, bro? I told y'all. Tyler Shaw or Show or whatever the hell his name is getting picked over Shedeur Sanders. At this point, bro, he's going to Pittsburgh, man. Like that's it. Tactical Sports says, "Wow, who is that guy?" I zero idea. Armenian man said, "Dude, about to be 26." Yeah, he's Hendon Hooker. I mean, you could have just traded Hendon Hooker then. What the hell, man? Come on now. I mean, they're the same age. Mary Smith says, "Now you see what I'm talking about." Yeah, they're punishing Shedeur for who his father is, pretty much. But again, I mean, Deion did come out and say, well, he didn't want. There was only a few people or only a few teams that he would allow to draft Shedeur. I think that's probably the thing that hurt him the most, right? And I think the NFL got together to say, you know what, F that guy. You know, you're looking at maybe the Cowboys will stop his slide, or the Pittsburgh Steelers. Daniel Jeremiah is over there just like he's just like okay. Tyler Shao. All right, the Bills have made a pick. Come on, bro. I mean, they've made a trade. Okay, the Bills have traded with the Bears, which is good. Okay, let's see what. So the Bears are now going to be picking after the Detroit Lions. I think they were number 30 overall, so they're probably going to be what, pick 62 or 61. Or yeah, I think they're pick. Let's see, I got it up here. They're pick 62, yeah. Yeah, so they're not gonna get Mike Green. So they got this second round that's a pick swap. Then they got 2 second round picks. Good night, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. They got 56 and 62nd. So they're still picking before the Lions. Bro, the Lions need to make a move, man. I'm sure that they're content to sit there and wait for Josiah Stewart. Low key could see 49ers pick a QB. I did say that for the first round. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked Shedeur Sanders in the first round. Because do they really want to pay Brock Purdy? I understand that, but don't take it out on the kid. His father has always been his agent. That's just my opinion. Oh, 100%. 100%. I agree with you. You know, you should not be taking this out on the player. You know they would have had to stay at the head of the lines. Yeah. But they got 2 second round picks, bro. To they have 3 picks in the second round. Like, this is crazy that the Chicago Bears are just stockpiling players. What if Shiloh gets picked before? I don't think Shiloh's getting picked, bro. Yeah, Will Johnson is still there. I forgot, bro. I forgot Will Johnson was still there. His injury must. So here's the thing: if he's sliding because of his injury, everyone that said that he could have come back last season, and he just chose not to come back, and so there are some Michigan fans that have given up on him, and they're like, "Oh, f that guy because he did this and he could have come back." Yada yada yada. If he's falling because of this injury, I mean Maxwell Hairston went before him. Like multiple corners have gone before Will Johnson. So maybe that foot injury is a lot more serious than people actually thought it was. All right, the pig is in. Let's see what they do. Lee Evans. Okay. Watch the Eagles get Will Johnson somehow. Okay, TJ Sanders. Uh quick off the ball, pad level issues. Um oh yeah, the other thing that they said about Tyleek is he was him and another guy, and I think the other guy that they meant was Kenneth Grant, but was just an instinctive um, guy. So they were the top 2 instinctive guys. Um, bro, that like the Bills. They got this man out there. They got the camera on this man playing catch in the backyard. Lord have mercy. The Jets should pick Shedeur. Listen, if AG wants to be able to succeed in his first year, they picked a tackle. Now go ahead and get a quarterback. You don't have one. You have a running back. Y'all can get Shedeur Sanders and run a 2 quarterback set. Right? They could do that. Like Goodyear using still DRE is crazy. This Lexus, like you parallel parking with an app is wild. It's wild. I'm just saying. Just a fan, what up though? Okay, I'm just spitballing here, but maybe it's hard for Brad to make trades because of how many times he has traded up and selected someone that they wanted. I don't hate the take. I don't, because it does take 2 to tango. But I also do believe that they have their guys that they want. Or maybe they just spin it that way. Maybe they're being disingenuous when they say, "Oh, Tyreek was our top target." But then again, at the same time, Mike Green was on the board, Donovan Ezraku was on the board, Jihad Campbell was on the board. Now, only one of them has gotten picked thus far. But you do have to believe at some point that Tyreek was their top target because he picked them over all those other people. So Aaron Glenn, no, you need a QB. That's right, Mary. Aaron Glenn, no. Look, Justin Fields ain't it. Chef, what did you think of the Tyreek pick? I didn't like it. I understand. Look, I understand it to a degree, but the way that this draft is going right now, is it necessary to trade up? Because you still have a plethora of edges who everyone thought was going to be picked. So, if you get an edge in this round, like an actual edge, then I'm not really going to be mad at you. If they lost a lot of defense. The Jets lost a lot of defense. So, I mean, a Mike Green or anybody on the defense really makes sense here. They lost corners, safeties, linebackers, defensive linemen. So anybody on the edge makes sense, or on the defense makes sense for the Jets. But also, so does getting a quarterback. Because truly, Shedeur Sanders is the last one that you can pick that will help your franchise. All the other quarterbacks remaining, like the Saints getting Tyler Show, you're tanking. You might as well have just got someone else. There was no reason for that. That was just a troll job. Okay, they were right in that second round mock draft. They did choose Mason Taylor um, for the Jets. I don't mind you. This what the Jets are doing makes sense because they're protecting their quarterback, they're getting their quarterback weapons, but this is not the quarterback. You know, unless they're just going, all right, we're gonna do all of this year, so then next year when we get a real quarterback, we'll be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is what's happening with the Jets, but you never know. You could probably at this point get Shedeur in the 4th round. Oh, he's Jason Taylor's son. Okay, there you go. He's also Joy Taylor's nephew. We'll just leave that where it is. It's a lot of former FS1 talk today. Shannon Sharpe, Joy Taylor. What a time. What a time to be working at FS1 at that point, because it was some wildish going on in the trailers and in the makeup rooms. It was some wild stuff happening. All right, Julian Peterson. Cuzzo. Alfred Collins. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. The way that this is going, I don't understand. So if the Lions don't get an edge, you got to look at people like they said, they got Michael Williams in the 1st round. Now they went and got Alfred Collins in the 2nd round. They're beefing up their defensive line. So we've got to do, if we don't do it, I just don't understand it. With all the injuries that we had and all the ineffectual pass rushing that we had, so, you know, Shedeur Sanders may. Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing with Tyleik. He would have been there. I don't think he would have gotten picked, but you don't know. I don't know, bro. I think you could have traded back. You probably could have traded back and gotten him. You know what I mean? Why wait without a QB? You ain't what I. Because if you can just get other people and then you can get your quarterback in the 4th round, which seems crazy. You know? I'm watching on the ESPN YouTube channel and someone says Shedeur Sanders to the Goodwill. That's messed up. Looking good for the Den so far. Dallas Will Johnson, maybe. There will be lots of edge guys available for the Lions, I bet. It's looking that way. It's looking that way. I just feel like go get Mike Green, bro. Just go get him. Now, it's improbable that Mike Green will be available at 60. It's almost impossible that Mike Green will be available. Micah Parsons is entering the season on his 5th-year option, $24 million. So yeah, I can't say that one, Armenian. they'll, they'll take this. They'll take the stream down. So I'll just say that Shadura to the men's flag football league, the Happy Men. Right? I can't say that one. Oh my goodness, bro. I really don't know why insurance companies put so much into their marketing campaigns, but they are super funny. Um, I mean, I get it. Shador will do great in the USFL or Canadian Football League. I mean, I mean, you know, make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all share this stream. All right, let's see. The pick is in. Woo, buddy. See, Will Johnson, Shador Sanders, and Mike Green, then Donovan Ezra are the top people. Tori Amos, and then Landon Jackson. So we're 16 picks away from the Lions. We're 16 of picks away from the Lions. So Lions, stop Mike Green from falling. Come on, stop the fall. Okay, Donovan Ezra. Wow. Those allegations for Mike Green must have been some serious. He must have really been on getting his Shannon Sharp on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. uh K ain't press has hell going on. A lot going on. So K ain't press, let me explain the fifth year option to you I saw your comment. So the fifth year option basically means that the organization has contract control over a first round rookie for an additional fifth year. If you look at the second round rookies, their contracts are for 4 years, but every contract, first, second, and I think third round, they have 4-year contracts, but the first round has a fifth year option. So the team can pick up that option and they will have contractual control over the player for a reduced salary. And not reduced from what they were getting from before, reduced from what they would get if they were to get a brand new deal. So like Micah Parsons is probably going to get $40 million, but his fifth year option, he's getting $24 million. So they basically are kicking the can down the road and they're giving you another year so that they don't have to pay you as much as what you'd be getting when you get a brand new deal after your rookie deal is over. So that's what the fifth year option does. All right, the Colts pick is in, and don't know who they're picking. Justin Fan says Green the Groper. Tactical Sports says allegedly. I'm guessing Mary Smith wanted Donovan Ezra. Who is this making this pick? Oh, Jonathan Taylor. Okay. He can't even pronounce your teammate's name. All right. He's off the board, so that we're not going to get that guy. However, that's the kind of edge that the Detroit Lions look for as far as his build. He's almost 6'5", he's 265, so at some point you just gotta trade up. You gotta get Mike Green. Y'all remember Lyle Collins? Y'all remember Lyle Collins, who was supposed to be a top 10 pick, and then some murder was the case that they gave me came up, and he did not get drafted, or he got drafted by the Cowboys in the 7th round. So, K Press is always hungry. K Press buys into the Uber Eats campaign that football is selling you food. Because every time she come into a stream, she hungry. I heard that TA is making the pick for the Lions. He is. Okay. No, here comes a run on edge rushers. Edges are dropping fast now. Please, no Jack Sawyer. I need somebody to pick Jack Sawyer. Somebody do it, please. Because if the Detroit Lions select Jack Sawyer, like if you select Jack Sawyer when you had the opportunity to select Jihad Campbell, I might end the stream early. I might. I might not even do the 3rd round. No, I'm good. I don't want no Ichiban. Landon Jackson is who I said we should get. He might be available. Again, the 2nd round, let's just address the edge rusher position so we can talk about it and we can be happy. And then, you know, whoever else they get after that, I don't care. Just get me an edge, and don't wait until the 6th round and grab a guy who no one has heard of. You know, a guy, or not no one has heard of, a guy that slipped out of the 1st round because he had a catastrophic injury where they almost had to amputate the lower part of his left leg. And people didn't know if he would ever walk again or play again. Well, forget play, walk again. And then he beat the odds, and then he played again 2 years later. And then, you know, no. I don't want that guy. Okay? I really don't want that guy. Justin Fan says, I don't want any double amputee edge rushers. Is it a must that the Lions re-sign Z Smith now? If they don't get an edge rusher, yes. Yeah, hey, because what you gonna do? Anybody that is if you are a Lions fan and you are deluding yourself into believing that Marcus Davenport is the answer on the edge, you're sadly mistaken. Can we all agree to no more Ohio State? Oh yeah, I can agree to that 100%. All right, let's see. The Rams. You know what the Rams do? You know the Rams are probably getting Mike Green. You know the Rams. They're getting Mike Green to pair with freaking Jared Verse. Like everyone's over there because you're happy because of all these people getting drafted that you didn't think would get drafted where they got drafted, and now there's so many people available to you. So you just like overjoyed, and then you go get somebody that makes sense. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Okay. All right, cool. They chose a tight end. Whatever. Yeah. um Now, see, this is why. So when people get tight ends and stuff, you counter with having um dominant defensive lines that can get to quarterbacks and they don't give them a chance to do anything. And then, you've got good cover guys who can, you've got a Brian Branch who can eliminate a tight end. You got Kirby Joseph who, can go ahead and get it. He's a ball hawk when stuff pops up. This is why. This is how you counter that stuff. Or the Raiders draft the player, then he's out of the year league later. League a year later. Out of the year a league later. Still watching the ESPN stream on YouTube. Someone just said Sanders to SmackDown. Do I know Ferguson? No, I don't. I'll take Nick S. Nick Scorton. Oh, I forgot Nick Scorton was still there, but Nick Scorton is not supposed to get past the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, let's see what we get here. Patrick Peterson, Cuzzo, because okay, Will Johnson finally gets selected. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I forgot Will Johnson was still at this point. I just forgot about Will Johnson. Wow. At Will Johnson being that, going that late, lasting that long, that's crazy. Yeah, the Cardinals definitely got a good one. Oh wait, now he gets to go up against Marvin Harrison Jr. every day in practice. Isn't that something? All right, the Texans have traded. Yeah, if he can get healthy. Uh, Sanders to the new women's flag football league. Wow. Wow. Y'all are killing me out here. I'm fighting for my life. Hashtag if you know, you know. Use the hashtag. Robert. Shout out to the people in jail, in prison who deserve to be in prison. Shout out. The question is, will Shannon Sharpe be next? Does he deserve it? Allegedly, he does. Mr. Morale says, Kels. It's Kels. I wonder if he's like working on an album in prison. Right? He probably got a studio and everything. You know how some of them dudes be. You know. Does anybody know what prison he's in? All right. See, it's second and third round picks for this stuff. So I guess some people are just willing to accept a couple, like a pick swap in the third. And some are just like, no, you got to give us a king's ransom. But if I didn't have to give you a king's ransom to move up 15 or 10 spots to get the third pick in the second round, I definitely shouldn't have to give you a king's ransom to move up a few spots to get the 15th pick or the 12th pick in the third round. That doesn't make sense. Armenian Mans and the Texans, go O-line. You need it. They definitely do need O-line. If I'm CJ Stroud right now and the Texans do not get an offensive lineman, I am crashing out. I'm crashing out, then I'm holding out. It's like, I'm not coming to practice. I'm not playing this year. No, because I'm going to get killed. You know? So, yeah, nah. So Texans, you know, I don't like CJ Stroud because he's from Ohio State, you know. So, and I approve of this message of him getting pummeled, but I just when you watch a franchise just not do the obvious thing, it kind of hurts your brain a bit. So you just want to, you know, you want them to go ahead and do what they need to do. Trader Brad is gone this draft, replaced by Hold'em. Don't fold him, Brad. Yeah. To be fair, you haven't really needed to trade. Now, if it starts to get tight, as he said, you know, with Tyleek, which I don't understand how it was getting tight. I don't think he was getting drafted in the first round. At this point, he might have been gone. But because he probably would have been gone at this point, you've traded back anyway, right? Or you just got Jihad Campbell when he was available at your pick and you didn't have to do anything else. You could have just got Jihad Campbell. You know. Um all right. So the pick is in. We will see what the Texans do here. At this point, are y'all in on Princely? Because I didn't want Princely, but I mean, come on, bro. All right. Owen Daniels, okay. Okay. All right. They got their they got their tackle. Okay. I'm happy they got a tackle because if they didn't, I'd have just been like, bro, what? You know, they were going into the kicker range for a minute. You thought you was like they might get a punter right here. They traded up to get him too. You never know. Um, 1 hour and 20 minutes for 16 picks. This is slow. Well, hey, it is so much faster than the first round because the first round is ridiculous. But like I said before, shout out Brad. Shout out to Roger Goodell, who's suggesting changes to make the first round go faster because it's excruciating, bro. It's not creating suspense and drama. It's creating frustration because it's like, man, I just want to see these picks. Uh, so NFL to unveil rivalries uniforms, new alternate uniform series similar to NBA's City Edition, coming this year. Oh well, I love new uniforms, so I can't wait to see what the Lions one's looking like. The initiative is the NFL's first major occasional uniform series since the polarizing Color Rush program began in 2015. The rivalries concept is reportedly similar to the City Edition and City Connect uniforms sported by NBA and MLB teams for select games. All right. Demetrius Knight Jr. Yeah, I'm not high on Demetrius Knight. So Mike Green must have really done it, huh? Um, Nike and the NFL described the new uniforms as rooted extensively in local community insights. Each NFL team will be required to wear the jerseys for one home game against a divisional rival each season over a 3-year stretch. Because they can only be worn by home teams, no games will feature two competing rivalries uniforms. The initial batch of 2025 rivalries uniforms will cover the AFC East and NFC West. Okay, so they're not rolling all of them out at the same time. Uh, CBS Sports reports they're expected to be publicly unveiled over the summer. The AFC South and NFC North will join the program in 2026. The NFC East and AFC West will enter in 2027, and the AFC North and the NFC South will complete the program in 2028. Yeah, so it sucks to have to wait a year, but at least we're not the NFC South. All right. So the pick is in, and we're just gonna go right back to commercial. Come on, bro. It's the second round. We don't need to do all this. So what do y'all think about that rivalry series of uniforms? What are y'all's comments on that? What are your thoughts? Um about dang time Stroud looked like he was gonna die. At least we don't have 20 minutes of go pack go before a pick. That's true. Demetrius Knight Jr. Tired of commercials. That's true. Um, Just a fan thinks that the rivalry series is stupid. Um, I'm a design guy, so I'm always like I like new uniforms, especially when they are fire, like our whatchamacallit, our city, our Motor City Muscle, our black joints. There'll be lots of lame uniforms, I bet. There'll probably be a lot of bad ones and a lot of good ones. Just like the city ones. Like a lot of people like the Tigers ones. I do not. I don't like them at all. Um, I wish the Lions would just make the black jerseys the home jerseys. I don't disagree. The Seahawks need another O lineman. They got Sam Darnold back there, so they better protect him. Because we know what happens to Sam Darnold when he's not getting protected. We know what happens. I'm with you, Chef. Tigers uniforms are lame. Yeah, just don't like them. Like some of the NBA city uniforms are pretty fire, and then some of them are just not. Um, like I'm one of the people. Like one of my favorite Pistons jerseys is the Shock jerseys. I don't even remember what season they wore those in. Um, the ones that had like the lightning bolts. I guess they were supposed to signify like spark plugs. You know what I mean? Hoping the Tigers did an orange jersey. That might have been better than what they did. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. You got a Grinch mask on, Sea Squatch. Uh, Sean Alexander announcing the pick. Did he say Jedediah? Nobody that was born after after 20 not 20 after 2000 the year 2000 should be named Jedediah. Elijah Arroyo, okay, cool. All right. Um I want the horse logo back. Yeah, the teal joint was pretty nice though. I'm not gonna lie. Um, favorite Christian jersey was the red ones they had. Yeah, the red ones were nice. Any Tigers uniform without an old English D is blah. I can see Mike Green here. What for the next pick? All right. The Panthers are trading. Everybody's trading. It's pick 51. So we'll see who they get. Everybody is trading. Bro. Hold on, bro. I gotta get this cat away from the door. Who's this guy now? Chuba Hubbard. Okay, I would not have known that. Don't know what Chuba Hubbard looks like. Now I do. Uh Everybody's trading except the Lions. That is true. All right, and they got Nick Scorton. Well, I guess we are no longer hurting for Scorton. Brad Holmes Depot is trying to prove a point to the fans that ain't nobody come to see us. Bro, I guess. All right, the pick is in for the Titans. Okay, Keith Bullock. Bro, I really don't be knowing who these dudes are. Sometimes you just got to know who they are. Okay, Olawufemi Aladejo, he's a guy that the Lions liked. Why the hell does it say juicy? What is that? Pause. Pause, bro. They say he was a former linebacker and he was a converted DE. What? So Brad Holmes equals David Ruffin. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Two Lions faves gone. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Bro, can you stop? He's one of the noisiest cats, bro. Lord have mercy. Bro, at this point, just I know it's Eddie Kane. But Eddie Kane, he was based off of David Ruffin. I think the Five Heartbeats was based off the Temptations, right? Loosely. Ain't nobody got the pipes like Eddie Kane Jr. Well, I still got the pipes. Can't nobody sing like Eddie Kane Jr. Yeah, Eddie. We'll call you. Bing. Oh my goodness. Mary Smith said, "Y'all killing me." Um, bruh. Just get to the Lions pick, bro. We 7 picks away. I just need to see what happens. uh that's crazy, bro. Well, that just shows you, man, just since time, bro, since fame has been a thing, it's always somebody always gets swept up in it and just thinks they're untouchable, like Shannon Sharp. Allegedly. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? David Ruffin got caught up in it. You know, it's so many people just they got caught up in the lifestyle, you know, as they call it, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and then they crash all the way out and they lose everything. Bro, Shannon Sharp was about to sign a $100 million deal with the Volume Podcast Network. $100 million. My man lost $100 million because he likes to choke people. Allegedly. Allegedly. And also allegedly is a rapper. Take out one of the P's. All right, let's get come on. The pick is in. Okay. Um now the Buccaneers were supposed to steal Jihad Campbell from us. They didn't do that. We stole Jihad Campbell from ourselves. So let's see if they steal anybody else. All right, I know who that is. Okay. Don't care about that pick. Benjamin Morrison. I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Tactical Sport. I see what you did there to Tactical Sport. That's exactly what I tried to do. Shout out Eminem. He the homie. Mary Smith said that's why you got to be careful when you get a little change. You also should just be 56 and married, and that would have solved all of this. You know what I mean? All right, the Packers pick is in. Watch them pick Josiah Stewart just to screw with us. Watch, because they know the Lions want Josiah Stewart. Oh yeah, if Green Bay gets Mike Green, yeah, I just didn't even think about that. uh Yep, Bears are also at 56 because the Lions aren't going to trade with whoever is at 55. And I don't know who is at 55. They just showed it, but I wasn't paying attention. All right, do we have to do this now because of the Packers? Like, do we need to really do all of this and take all of this time? Green and golden is the sign this man is holding up. Jordy Nelson. Oh yeah. The Chargers are at 55. See, they bring up kids because they think that we can't hate on kids, but we boo kids. So boo. Boo those children. And if you announce Mike Green, okay, cool. All right. All right. Again, the NFC North, someone said this before, the NFC North is building up the trenches. Um, Mostly on the offensive side, right? He struggles versus speed. Hello. Hello. You play to win the game. He struggles versus speed. You need a speed rusher. You know, you have to be able to have multiple people that can do different things, not just big plotting dudes that, my man is pushing a car. And that's just not any car. Is that what is that? Is that a caddy? Okay. Bro, if you pick Jack Sawyer, like it, um, well, we know Jack Sawyer is not going to the Chargers because Jim Harbaugh is the coach, and he already knows what kind of punk Jack Sawyer is. And I call him a punk, and then the Lions pick him. I hope the Bears pick Jack Sawyer. I don't know who this is. Oh, Melvin Gordon. Yeah, definitely did not know that. Okay. All right. Trey Harris, wide receiver, Ole Miss. Bro, I need somebody to pick Jack Sawyer, man. I need somebody to pick Jack Sawyer. Please, for the love of God. Don't allow the Lions to pick Jack Sawyer. Please don't allow the Lions to pick Jack Sawyer. Wow. So the Chargers offense, you see how they don't put Q in there? They were just like, dude, this dude is terrible. Quentin Johnston, you're out of here. We're putting in Trey Harris, who we just drafted, who has never played a snap in the NFL because you are that bad. The Broncos, Raiders, and the Ravens, none of them are going to be picking Jack Sawyer, bro. None of them are going to do it. Yeah, the Bears pick is in, but then they go to commercial. That's what they do. The whole Taylor. I'm looking for it. Jason Taylor. Is Joy Taylor there? She is. Joy Taylor was there. Auntie Joy. Auntie Joy. All right. So everything King says this about the Tyreek pick, and I think this is what is echoing the sentiment of Lone Spoon, Tactical Sport, and many of us. He says Tyreek Williams is an absolute beast at run defense and has a ton of potential to grow. His ability to move at his size and the power he possesses is a true luxury. The Lions have added a need to the interior defensive line. The only issue I have is where we got him. You could have gone edge and then moved up in the second round for him. Maybe I'm greedy. #OnePride. Does anyone disagree with that? I don't think that's a disagreement. Right? You don't have a problem with the player that they drafted. You just have a problem with where they drafted him. No one said he sucks. Right? No one said, oh, this dude is trash. Why'd you draft him? Nope. It's just where you drafted him. Bro, seeing Shedeur Sanders on this commercial makes me remember that Shedeur Sanders is an available draftee. Like he has slipped so far down the draft. Terrion Arnold says 21 hours ago, I'm thinking we go defensive line. You were right, Terrion. Okay. All right. Hold up. The Lions have traded up, but damn, Chicago is on the board. Hold on. Come on now. They're not taking Jack Sawyer. That's number one. Okay. Bears. Okay, nobody knows who you are. I don't know who you are. Who is this? Is he a punter, a kicker? Oh, it's Seth Rollins. Okay. I was wondering why that man came out with a freaking. I was like, nobody knows who you are, bro. Did you pay for the Bears at some point? All right. We don't care, Seth. Announce the pick so we can get to our guys. Okay, this is great. Great theater. Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything until I announce the pick, please. Don't if you're watching and you're a little bit ahead, don't say anything. Bro, nobody cares about this dude is talking too much. Don't know who that is. Don't care. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. Step across that line, boy, and see what's up. Let's go. All right. No one cares. He's huge. He's a day one starter, right tackle. That's great. He's like Rob Havenstein. Fantastic. Rob Havenstein didn't do nothing against the Lions. Okay. Come on now. Let's step across that line, boy, and see who Shannon Sharp is gonna rap next. All right, let's go. Let's come on now. Y'all still talking about old stuff. All right, the pick is in. Josephine, I hope you don't know what the pick is. Because I'm asking people not to say nothing. Don't spoil the pick, please. That's nice to see the Packers fans and everybody in there banding together. So, you know, it shows people can be humans. All right. What did the Lions give up? Does anybody know what the Lions gave up? I guess he didn't see that. I guess he didn't see that. I mean, just. I mean, trade back up into the second and get your edge, man, and then we can get out of here. I don't. They gave up a fourth rounder. Okay. The Bears have another pick, bro. Like, I just don't like. Maybe they're bringing back Zedarius. Maybe this is solidifying the fact that they're bringing back Zedarius. I just they traded up, and I'm like, oh, it's Mike Green or said they better. I'm going to Allen Park. um, nah, not like he did yesterday. Like, to be clear, I don't have a problem with the player. This is why I kept this is, leading up into the pre-draft process, and all the people that were like, "Oh, just let Brad Holmes cook, just wait and see what he does." And I said, if he doesn't get an edge rusher in the first round, it was going to create more anxiety than anything else because now you have to wait to see where he picks an edge rusher. At this point, the allegations might push Mike Green like way out of anything. You know? Looked like the Bears want to take Ratledge because they traded back as soon as the Lions picked him. Um, it's possible. I don't have a problem with either player we drafted, but our biggest need is edge rusher, and neither of them are edge rushers. Facts. If you look back, I expected IOL, then IDL, then edge. Um, I mean, they're probably gonna trade up for Josiah Stewart. I've actually stopped looking at Shedeur Sanders getting drafted. I feel like at this point he could go undrafted. Nobody wants Daddy Sanders tagging along and stirring things up, in my opinion. Um, no, someone picked Malik Willis in the 4th round, so someone will draft Shedeur. That's true. What up, though, Salty Boy Chops? Yep. I just don't understand why everyone else can get people with all this talent and we just. Yep, I told you it was the allegations. They did not accept his. He was getting his Shannon Sharp on once in high school and once in college. You know, Salty Pork Chops believes that Brad is going to trade up again, or Zadarius knows he's coming back. Somebody go look at Zadarius' Instagram and see. Allegedly, yes, tactical work. Allegedly. Bro, Brad wanted nothing to do with Green. I just I just don't know. Um yeah, like the anxiety is killing me. So my question is this. My question is this. Since we like a certain type of edge rusher and all these things, I think the last person that fits the mold of the people that we like, the size and the athleticism or whatever the case may be, is Landon Jackson. Are we trading up to get Landon Jackson, or are we going Josiah Stewart, who we've met with every single time that there was an opportunity to meet with a player? All right, Jesse fan, we'll see you later. Salty Pork Chops, nobody except you wants Jack Sawyer. And if we trade up to get Jack Sawyer, I'm done. Yeah, we wouldn't have to trade. You know why? Because nobody wants him. That's why we wouldn't have to trade. Uh oh, Darius Smith still has his Lions photos up. I mean, you know who his girl is, so you know. Would they say happy wife, happy life? You know? One hell of a mullet and a Spitty's clothes. I don't have a problem with Tate Ratledge. I don't even have what's his problem with what's his name? Springaleek Williams. Um, I have a problem with the school that he went to, but I just don't. He doesn't have any Browns photos up. I mean, he shouldn't have any Browns photos up. Sawyer may not be a bum, but Sawyer is who Sawyer is, and he's not going. He doesn't have potential to grow. And this is you've got better players on the board. You've had better players on the board the entire time, and you've let them slip through. So if you now address the edge position by drafting Jack Sawyer, then that's a travesty. Because you could have had a top notch person in the first round, but you went with a defensive tackle who you could have gotten in the second round. The question is that they didn't Mike Green, we know what the problem with Mike Green was. He had, again, as I said, he went to the Shannon Sharp School of Broadcasting, allegedly. So we understand what the problem was there. Um, but it was, do you not think, Salty Pork Chops, that it was a reach to grab Tyleek Williams where we drafted him at? He does have Browns photos up, but he's still being followed by Lions players. Yeah, I want Princely over Sawyer too, and I was not a Princely fan, but I mean, if he's gonna be there, hell, maybe that dude was right that said the Lions would trade out of the fourth round into the fifth round to get Jared Ivey. He still follows the Lions and the Pistons. Not with the amount of defensive tackles that were already taken. What do you think of Stewart then? You look defeated for a Michigan guy. Uh Stewart is good, but I don't know if we're getting him. You know what I mean? That's the issue. But apparently, Josiah Stewart doesn't fit what we do. We don't like designated pass rushers. Apparently, I'm not. You know, my thing is we have a problem getting to the quarterback, man. And my issue is they really believe Marcus Davenport is going to do something, even though they gave him an heavily incentive laden deal. I'm frustrated that we think that we're going into the season right now, as of right now, we're going into it with him as our starting edge rusher on the other side of Hutch. I just have a problem with that, bro. Yeah, let's see if he does though. Let's see if he does. Because as the draft goes on, the more and more time that it's not addressed, the more and more time you just are like, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ah. So Terrion Arnold must be announcing the third round pick. Depression. uh so I have a serious question for you guys. For all of the culture that the Detroit Lions have have created. And let's not say anything about Mike Green because obviously the allegations that he has are very Sharpian allegations. Okay, they're very Sharpian allegations, allegedly, and we don't. Those types of allegations are unacceptable. So let's remove Mike Green. What were the allegations for James Pierce? There were no allegations. They just said, "Oh, he's a bad teammate. He's uncoachable." But the you watch the Atlanta Falcons, who had a clear need, right? Who had a clear need at the edge rusher position. They got one at their pick, and then they traded back up to get another one. What is the issue with taking guys who have some red flags as far as character. How many of those guys have gone off and had legal troubles, have been imprisoned or whatever? There's been some guys. There's a handful of guys. Right? But everybody that has some sort that's not a perfect choir board character is it's not, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? I just at what point where you created this culture, can you not take a gamble? I mean, Dan Campbell said, you know, you can have a couple turds or a turd or two if you've got the culture. So what's the problem? Bo Allen, he's on the podcast with Chris Long, Green Light Podcast. He was a seventh round pick of the Eagles in 2014. Yeah, I mean, I don't. It doesn't matter whose rule it is, but the thing about it is why. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. We're gonna win the right way and all this, justice for juicy and all this ish. But we've never been to a Super Bowl, man. I understand 100%. They have a say, but the point is, what's the issue? Like you had Jalen Carter in his second year, a part of a Super Bowl winning football team. I never played on the line. I'm not one of those dudes. Running back, cornerback, receiver, quarterback. Those were positions that I played in my career. Never on the line. I played a little bit of safety when I was 9. So, uh, yeah, we have the culture to handle James Pierce, right? Okay, again, Mike Green, I understand it. That's why he erupted into tears when he got drafted, because he got drafted to an excellent situation and he got drafted. The allegations didn't stop him from actually getting drafted. And I know as he slipped down and every pick that went by and they needed an edge rusher and he knew the talent that he had, the allegations were in the back of his mind, right? Okay, cool. Well, teams are selecting already while the broadcasts are behind. They cut bait quick yeah, I mean they cut bait quick with a guy, Lauren Strickland. Nah, Brandon Joseph. Like what had that been? I'm not gonna use that word. Had that been Jahmyr Gibbs. You think they were cutting bait that quick? Yeah, they only had 1 second round pick. We're in the third round now. So Darius Alexander is a guy that um they're talking about. He's Chris Jones esque, and he actually rushes the passer from the interior. Yeah, it's a late third round pick. We're 102. So why is their comp pick so high in the third round and ours is like super low? I don't think they had to fight for JMO, bro. Like this is the thing. People should stop putting JMO in the light of a person that has character issues. JMO did two things, right? That could be called questionable. He logged on to an online casino on in a team hotel, and he had a gun which was registered, but he just didn't have the proper permits, right? And then the thing about the suspension, the performance enhancing substances was the only information we have about it was something that he was supposed to have a prescription for, but the doctors didn't get the paperwork in properly. Right? They did all the work on Jameson Williams before they traded up to number 12 to get him. He didn't have any character concerns when he was coming out of Oh Hell No State. There were no allegations. There was nothing. He wasn't a bad teammate. You can't fake what Jameson Williams is, right? You can't fake the love for blocking and the love for the teammates and all this other stuff and getting his teammates involved in the community in Detroit. You can't fake that. He doesn't have character concerns. That's why people need to stop talking about that. Like it's not character concerns. Yeah, JMO's issues were maturity issues, not cultural. And then honestly, what many of the players were coming out and saying was like, well, the gambling policies are not clear. And if they tell you, okay, don't bet on sports, but you're on an online casino. How are you betting on sports? You're playing slots. And just because you're playing slots on the freaking hotel Wi-Fi, you get suspended for 6 games. The NFL saw how stupid that was, and they reduced it to 2 games. It shouldn't have been anything. You said I'm trying to make sense of it. You can't make sense of it. It doesn't make sense. You can't make sense of nonsense. Saquon comp pick? No, it was a pick for L'Jarius Sneed. You support Ohio State, you can't make sense of it. Facts. Facts. I can't see that the Lions traded because um the broadcast is so behind. While they were doing the like national anthem thing or whatever they were doing, like four teams made picks. It says that the pick is in for the Raiders, so we couldn't have traded with the Raiders unless they had another selection. No, they're after New England, so whoever they traded with, I don't know. It's got to be either Josiah Stewart. Oh wow, the Vikings. Uh, Why did the Vikings keep trading? Okay, we'll see what they do. Yeah, every time we trade with the Vikings, we traded for JMO. We traded Hawk with the Vikings, and he didn't do anything for them as far as helping to beat us. So, um, just please, I don't care if it's Josiah Stewart, if it's Landon Jackson, if it's somebody on the edge I've never heard of. You know, if it's Shadarius Jankston, edge out of New Mexico State, I don't care. Oh my goodness. Uh at least we didn't have to wait long. At least we didn't have to wait to freaking pick 102. But I'm not gonna get excited. uh Why does John Cena look so skinny? He's cycling the roids. If they've traded up for Jack Sawyer, he's off the roids now that he's about to retire. Even in the Shannon Sharp interview, he clubbed Shay Shay, which they might want to change the club Ray Ray. If you know, you know. Um, I don't know. It's just what were the details of the trade? I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. Jacksonville. It was Jacksonville. All right, Terion. I'm not looking at the chat because y'all gonna say something. Terion. Okay, Terion. Whew. Like people are in here, like in this LNU chat, trying to convince me that this was a good pick. Are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? Oh, watch his footwork. I don't give I don't give a damn about his footwork. Who the hell cares? Is his footwork gonna help us stop Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, freaking Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love, and Caleb Williams? Is his footwork gonna help with that? So now we don't have any more picks today, right? We're done. Yes, and we did. We gave up both thirds next year. Bro, we gave up both next year's third rounders and this year's third for a third round wide receiver. Man, ain't no way. His pro comp is Ziggy Ansah. You should see this chat, bro. You should see what these people are trying to tell me. I said, so someone told me they're bringing back all these people that were a top 5 unit when healthy. I said, you're bringing back Marcus Davenport, who is never healthy in any season under any circumstance. Someone said it's not Davenport, he's depth. It's Levi. Bro, Levi gave you 3 half sacks. What the frick are you talking about? All right, Mary Smith. I don't know if I'm doing any of the draft coverage tomorrow. It starts at 2 a.m. for me. My son has a soccer game tomorrow. I don't know if I'm doing it. I don't know. I don't know. So the next. So okay. All right, man. Everybody that's trying to make sense of like you're trying to say that this wide receiver pick was a good pick. Watch, go to the score, go to any of the freaking because this didn't make any damn sense, bro. I would have rather taken freaking Will Johnson in the first round than this. So there's a guy that's trying to talk about how oh well he wasn't a day 3 prospect on their board and blah 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 and didn't even know what they traded for. He just asked, well what did they give up? That's fine. He may not care about what the fans think the team needs, but the numbers bear it out, and I did the numbers for you. Outside of Aiden Hutchinson, you got 10 sacks from your defensive line. Outside of it for 17 weeks. Outside of Aiden Hutchinson, you got 10 more sacks. Now this El Qadim Muhammad gave you what? 2, maybe 3 sacks, maybe. Let's say he gave you 3 sacks. So outside of Aiden Hutchinson, and then you got El Qadim Muhammad, and then you got Zadarius Smith. So that's that's 5 to 7 sacks for people that weren't on the team at the beginning of the year. So I mean the people that were on the team in the beginning of the year who were slated to be your defensive line rotation gave you 7 they gave you 10 sacks outside of Aiden Hutchinson. I thought you were saying Ray Holmes as in Ray Charles. I don't think we have a 4th round pick. I think we gave it up in the trade to go up to get Tate Ratledge. Maybe Jared Ivey is the pick. Maybe Jared Ivey is going in the fifth round. Well, Holmes is blind to see we need an edge rusher. Nah, I guess he don't think we do. Tactical Spork says we have to get a new GM if this doesn't work. This is malpractice. Like people just keep trying to make sense of this. He's not done trading up, and the Lions' thirds are really fourths for the next few years. These lower round guys may not even make the roster. My man is like, oh, if you look at their tells, if you like, what are you even talking about, bro? Like, uh, he has to resign Zadarius Smith, or make a miraculous trade for Hendrickson at this point. So what is my coverage? What is my coverage of the team next offseason going to look like? What do you think? I don't know. They're probably going to draft a wide receiver. They're probably going to draft someone that we don't need. Like I don't know. If the Lions don't win a Super Bowl this year, the fan base will go after his head for sure. And I don't, bro. Again, like the thing that it's just it's basic. It's a basic thing that I have a problem with. You have the top echelon quarterbacks coming to play you this year. The people are saying it's the Mount. I mean, you've got freaking Joe Burrow, bro. Joe Burrow is not going to not carve you up if you don't get to him. You're going to lose that game because you can't cover Jamar Chase and T. Higgins for 5 seconds at a time. Oh, Prince is gone. Everybody's going to be gone. So we're not getting anybody. We're not getting anybody. There's so many people just double dipping on edge, defensive tackle, and we get a freaking wide receiver, bro. Like what the frick? And all the trading up that we did to get this freaking wide receiver. That dude just he just called him Jaden Ivey. I can't make it make sense tactical. I don't understand it either. I So this dude says we will have top 3 depth, D and O line. How? What did we add to the defensive line that makes our depth top 3? We added one player. And Roy Lopez in the what are we talking about? Like if you want to if you like how are you calling Marcus Davenport depth? Somebody says, I hope we can still get an edge. So the only person in here making sense says, other than me, with the next pick in that 180s, it'll be a very raw developmental guy. And then the answer is it could be the next St. Brown or Christian Mahogany. Bro, like when you just devolve into hoping and wishing, it's freaking ridiculous, man. Ready to give my grade Z minus. Depth for a game, maybe. Yeah, like I If this doesn't produce a Super Bowl, we need to send Brad back to renting cars for a living. I, you know, I don't even know, bro. I don't. I have nothing else on on this draft. Um, bro, we got one person in the group that just buys into everything. Like you could say that Brad Holmes said the sky was green, and it's like sometimes when you see the aurora borealis, like it does give a green tint to the entire sky. So maybe that's what Brad is talking about. Like, uh, oh, bro, I somebody in the Lions organization is trying to get Brad fired. Our draft consists of a reach of a pick at DT, a guard, and a wide receiver. Wow. Yeah, we were told that we're not gonna reach for picks. That's what we're not gonna do, and we did it all three times that we picked. I would say the least reachiest pick I would say is Tate Ratledge. And this is like all of this. Oh, we're bringing back all of these people who were injured and yada yada yada. Who was getting to the quarterback other than Hutch? So we're bringing back Hutch, and we just want Hutch to have 40 sacks. Is that the plan? I think at this point they know that Jack Sawyers is going to be there. How many more picks are in this round just to see if I think we got 20 picks or something? Just seeing if they go up, back into the round and get anyone. This dude said it's some quality talent from the fourth to the seventh round. So we definitely can get some diamond in the rough talent through defense. Whoever said quality talent from the fourth to the seventh round? Like, that is an oxymoronic statement. How does that even work? Quality talent from the fourth to the seventh round. Yeah, sometimes people slip, right? Sometimes people fall out of, whatever, for whatever reason they fall down the draft boards. But you're not just wasting draft picks and trading up for wide receivers because you're like, yeah, we can go and find somebody in the fifth round. It's cool. Now, I know that they do a lot of work, they do a lot of scouting, and they have a lot of faith in their own ability to do stuff, but I'm not watching this Isaac Tesla person. I'm not even gonna watch film, nothing, because I don't care. Like, I don't want diamond rough players. I want dogs. This is what I mean when this is what you have to do when you want to try to make sense of everything and things that just don't make sense. Like, once they drafted, they traded up. I got excited the first time they traded up and then they drafted Tate Ratledge. And the second time, I just wasn't even excited. I just wanted them to pick an edge rusher, and they picked a wide receiver, and they gave up every third rounder that we've ever had in the history of third rounders to go up and get this guy. Special teams, probably. Yeah, I'm just. um, I feel like I should have gone to work. I feel like I shouldn't have been here. That's the way I feel right now. I like going into. So you want to be excited as a fan, right? Because we're all fans. And then when you get mad at something that Brad Holmes does, they call you casuals and this, that, and the third thing. And we're all fans. I'm a fan of this football team, and I create content, and we talk about it and we discuss it. You're fans of the football team, and this is why you come and you watch the content and you consume it and you discuss it with me. So, yes, the Lions pay Brad Holmes to make these decisions. They don't pay Motor City Don P. They don't pay Lion Syndicate. They don't pay Woodward Sports. They don't pay any of these people to make the decisions. However, like, when I don't understand how a pick makes sense, I'm looking at this. What do we need to do? How do we need to win football games? Yes, we were 15-2 last season, but we also ran up against a team that didn't beat us themselves. We gave them a whole heaping lot of help, right? Okay. Anyway, uh, I was just looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Are they gonna pick Shador Sanders? So we traded up our third round picks for on a gunner. Wow. Shador Sanders isn't getting drafted. How much money do we have to pay the GM of the Eagles to be our GM? Apparently, more money than we can afford. Not saying Brad is a bad GM. We saying we have injury history at edge and lack of a pass rush. It would be nice to have an edge rusher that can make some sort of impact. Yeah, a guy that could win one on ones outside of uh, an injury prone Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport can definitely win one on ones. Marcus Davenport can definitely make an impact. But how often is he going to be on the field to make that impact? Right? That's what I'm saying. Like people get mad. Oh, Brad Holmes knows more than you. Yeah, we can have an opinion though on our football team because how many Super Bowls has Brad Holmes gotten us? How many Super Bowls have the Detroit Lions been to? How many years were we telling you guys that you needed to fire Matt Millen? And then once you fired Matt Millen, then things got a little bit better. How many years did we tell you um, that you needed to fire Fatty Matty Patty and them boys? And then when they fired Fatty Matty Patty and them boys, things got better. Okay. So yeah, we watched the team, we watched the games, we consumed them. And just because someone picks a player, that doesn't mean it makes sense. Yeah, okay, you pick a player for your philosophy, but how is your philosophy beyond reproach? Right? You know, Michigan fans out there, Rich Rod had a great philosophy that worked very well in the Big East. You know where it didn't work? In the Big Ten. You know what he did when he got to the Big Ten? He set the University of Michigan program back 15 years because he wanted to do things the way that he did them in the Big East. He wanted these small, twitchy linemen that didn't play well in the Big Ten. So the talent that he had was not going to play in the Big Ten. That's why we sucked for all that time when Rich Rod was there. So it's the same type of situation, bro. Brad Holmes drafted based off that 15-2 record. That's what it seems like. Can't afford to have a bunch of practice squad players in the playoffs. Bro, I'm just, I just don't understand, bro. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, why can't you question Brad Holmes? Why can't you point out when Jared Goff plays a bad game? Why? You know what I mean? Like, why? Why is that? Okay, Brad Holmes took this team um from nothing to 15-2 in back-to-back NFC championship games. Not sorry, back-to-back NFC North championships. We took us to one NFC championship game, which we had so much ability to win, and we choked it away. And it wasn't due to because we didn't have something. It wasn't due to we lacked something. It was due to people dropping footballs and fumbling and all these things and giving momentum back to the San Francisco 49ers. Okay? But you know what we couldn't do in that game? We couldn't get to Brock Purdy. Okay? We couldn't get to Brock Purdy in that game. When we needed it most, when we needed some stops to stem the tide, when we needed someone to be able to get the quarterback on the ground, guess what they did? They ran away from Hutch to the other side. They double teamed him, they triple teamed him, and we had nobody else to do anything. Brad said it's hard to trade for a pass rusher. We then trade for a pass rusher, cut that pass rusher, and not draft a replacement. That pretty much sums it up. Pretty much sums it all up. So, bro, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I love it when my keyboard switches to handwriting and I had no idea why it did that. I don't know where the pass rush is coming from. The pass rush is coming from Aiden Hutchinson. Let's hope every QB sees goes. That's a hope to have, I guess. It's not reality. It's not gonna happen. I'm sure Lamar Jackson won't be seeing him. Jalen Hurts won't be seeing him. Patrick Mahomes won't be seeing him. You know, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about Jordan Love and Caleb Williams. You know, because we saw them twice each last year and we swept them. Um, I'm not too concerned about those guys, but if you want to compete with the upper echelon people, you gotta do something. The only way you cannot have a pass rush is if you have a bona fide no fly zone, which we do not have. Facts. Like the Packers shouldn't have fans just because their uniforms are ugly. You know what I mean? Like these are some of the ugliest uniforms in the NFL, and people wear the jerseys, and it's sad. Like I couldn't do it. Swinson, I don't know, bro. So you're telling me Isaac Tesla fit you better than Savion Williams? So Isaac Tesla is better than Savion Williams. Jared Ivey is still there. Didn't TJ Slaughter wrestle? So he's on the Brad Holmes is at he's been on the podium, so they're not going to make any more picks. They're not going to trade back into the third round. So, um, I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm done. Um, like I said, I don't know if I'm doing anything tomorrow. Um, I don't know, bro. Um, let me bring up.
I thought he just did like a cheesy. When he came on his top 30 of his, he had on a Lions jersey, and I thought he just did like a cheesy move just to like, some fanboy stuff like, and I'm just like, oh come on, you didn't put a Lions jersey on, but no, but he said like, no, I've had it since the 8th grade. And he's like, no, what better time to wear it than now? And so I really respected that. But no, he grew up as a Lions fan through and through. But obviously, that is not why we were excited to go up there and pick him. We were excited to go up there and pick him because he's big, he can run, he's tough, he's smart, he's a hands catcher, and he blocks and he plays special teams. And that's why we're excited to go get him.
This CEO had just gotten off work and
He plays special teams. Um,
To do both. Again, just like any other receiver, he's going to need to develop, but he's got the tools to play outside and win outside. He's going to have to learn, getting off press and all that stuff, just like they all do. But he's got all the physical tool and he's got the intangible makeup to be able to overcome that. I think he's going to be able to do both. Again, just like
all right, the last one that we have is about all of the day two picks.
Great locker room guy. I think you guys are really enjoy getting to know him. But he's got a little bit more versatility. He rose more as a process went along because of his versatility that we were able to find out a little bit more about. So I thought that he would just fit in just like a glove here. And then Tesla, he was one. Saw him at the Senior Bowl when I went down there and hadn't watched his film yet. Yeah, but just saw how he was in the run game in the team periods, just his blocking and his size, and she was just being a pest, and he was pissing off the DBs and the defenders. And obviously, it made me just want to just completely watch the tape, and then you see a guy that's just big, long, smooth strider, can accelerate, can run. He's a hands catcher, can play special teams, can block, so can do a lot of things. So we're really excited to land both of them. And tough kid, great locker room guy. I think you guys are really.
He's a great locker room guy. He blocks well. That's what we got, bro. That's what we got. So, and again, if Brad Holmes is not done trading up, what is he trading up with? What ammunition does he have to trade up? So, anyway, I'm gonna stab out. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Those of y'all that stuck through. Unfortunately, this entire draft has not gone the way that we expected it to go. It has not gone the way any of us wanted it to go. I don't. I don't know. I don't know what the next steps are. So it's hard to get. It's hard to get excited for this upcoming season. Because I thought the roster was just a couple of spots away from being complete. And to me, I don't think we addressed that at all. So it is what it is. But yeah, Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace.